Hello friends, hope you are all doing well. I am just going to make sure that I pop up, you know the routine, I want to make sure that I pop up on my screen so I can see the comments as you come in. Say hello. I see my little red box and it looks like I am good to go. Well, hello my friends. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. However, there'll be no tricks or anything like that today, but well, maybe some tricks because we are working on fun folds. But welcome back to another episode of Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. For those of you that are new to my page, welcome in. My name is Tammy Savello and welcome to Cards by TLC. Today, Jenny and I are creating fun fold projects. I was on the complete hunt for a new fun fold that I've never done before, and my dear friend, my fun fold is inspired today by my dear friend Lisa Curcio from Lisa's Stamp Studio. In fact, I think Jenny is actually going to be doing a fun fold that's inspired by her today, but I believe this is called a floating image card. I think that's what she called it. And what I love about this is it kind of stands up like so. It has like the wings that fold out and then it kind of has the floating image. It's kind of hard to see when it's standing up, but it's really easy, and I'm excited to share this with you. Now don't worry, this does, see right here, these fold back. And this does fit in our standard envelope. So I'm excited to share with you today. The paper that I'm using is the Delightful Floral designer paper that goes with the Delightful Wishes bundle that coordinates together. And I created this little guide sheet, and I really liked this. I saw it, I think it was on Pinterest. I'm not sure which demonstrator did this. Hello, Debbie, welcome in. I'm not sure which demonstrator did this, but I really thought that this was a fantastic way to showcase all the dies because it is a builder die. You have individual dies that cut out our images, but it also has some standalone dies that build the flowers. And I created this to show the difference of when you die cut this plus this, it equals that. So I hope this helps. This will be on my blog post tomorrow as well, along with all of the sizes and dimensions. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me get this out of the way because we have a lot of pieces to this mechanism. Again, this is our fold today, our little floating fold. So all the sizes and dimensions will be on my blog tomorrow, April 2nd at cardsbytlc.com. But let me show you all the pieces because there's a lot. So we have our main card base, which is in Pool Party, and this is 4 1/4 by 11. And then we have a second piece, which is kind of like our card piece. And this piece is cut at 2 3/4 by 7. We're going to do all of the scoring all at once, but I wanted to go over the sizes. You're going to have 6 pieces of old olive cardstock. Let me see if I can get all of these out here. I'm going to have 6 of these. And these pieces are cut at 1 7/8 by 4 1/8. You're going to have 6 pieces of coordinating designer paper. I have 4 of one design and 2 of another. So these pieces are cut at 1 3/4 by 4. Then we have our 2 basic white pieces that are the front of our card and the inside panel of our card. And this is 2 5/8 by 3 3/8. Again, don't worry about grabbing the sizes. They will be on my blog post tomorrow. Let's go ahead and start off by doing our scoring because we have a lot of numbers I'm throwing at you today. Let's get this off to the side, this off to the side. Let's bring in our paper trimmer. And we're going to just go ahead and start off with this small one because we're just going to score that right in half at 3.5. There we go. And then I am going to open up the arm because we are going to be doing lots of scoring. Let me get this kind of in frame here. So along the 11-inch side, we're going to be scoring at 2. I have to look at my notes here. 2, 4, 4.5, 6.5, 7, and 9. So again, that was 2, 4, 4.5, 6.5, 7, and 9. Now we are going to do our cutting. While this is, let me get this arm back down. While this is like this, we're going to go along the 11-inch side, and we are going to line this back up at 4 inches. And I'm going to lift this up because I need to bring my cutting blade up and see how that score line is in that track. Let me get that at 4 here. That score line is in the track. We want to cut along that score line. Pay attention to the markings right here. I've put a white piece of cardstock behind that to help read the markings. But we're going to take this and we're going to cut down to 1 inch from the top. Then I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to bring my cutting blade because we're going to cut upwards to 3 inches. So down 1 inch, move your blade up 3 inches. Now we're going to, I actually need to open that arm again. Now we're going to line this up at the 7-inch score line and do the same exact thing. So see that score line is right in that track. We're going to bring this up and we're going to cut down to 1 inch. Lift this up and cut up to 3 inches. I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers your way, but again, everything will be on the blog post tomorrow. Now I'm going to go ahead and rotate that. And along the 4.5-inch side, what we're going to be doing is removing these flat pieces right here and right here. So we're going to line this up at 1 inch. We're going to bring our cutting blade up to 4 inches right here. Let me see if I can bring this up. Cutting blade up to our 4-inch mark right there. Let me make sure I get that back at 1 inch because I want to make sure that that evenly cuts that. And I'm going to take this notch line and line that up with my scoring line right there at 4 inches. And we're going to cut down to this score line at 7 inches. So from 4 to 7. And that should take that away, just like so. We're removing those pieces. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. We're going to remove those flat pieces. Line that up at 1 inch. Again, line this up with this score line, which is 4 inches. Got to make sure I can get the angle there. And then cutting down to that 7-inch mark. That takes away. Oops. Let's get our little snips. I don't want to tug at that. Sometimes it sticks, so you just got to take your snips and make that drop. Now we are all done with our scoring and cutting. Now the easy part. It is so much easier for us to make the fun fold once we've made it. I know I literally watched it again, and then did the cutting. So now you're gonna want to bring in your bone folder. Now we're gonna start by creasing these edges here, and we are just gonna fold in for valley folds on both of the outer parts. Definitely want to crease, anytime you do a fun fold, you want to crease those edges. Next, we're going to come in at that second score line and do the exact same thing. Fold inward to create our valley folds. Fold in to create our valley folds. Now this next score line right here, we are going to fold those back for our mountain folds. So folding back, and there we have our little mechanism that pops up. Basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding our designer paper and decorating that, and the card mechanism is just going to go right there in the center. So really, really easy once you work through it and get all of the sizes and dimensions as you craft along with me. So now we're just going to go ahead and start gluing down our pieces to decorate it and get it done. And what I've done ahead of time with our magic of TV, I have already pre-cut our flowers in Lemon Lolly on the outer part, and then Daffodil Delight is our inner layer part. And then I have Pecan Pie for our centers. And then for our leaves, I have Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. So I've done that all ahead of time. So now it's just gluing down the pieces and which pieces you want where. And so I took 2 coordinating patterns with that paper. That paper is absolutely stunning. And it's so easy to pick fun patterns. And I just really wanted to bring in the blues of that. There is a lot of yellow. Nothing wrong with that, but you know me, I'm a blue girl. So we are just going to bring this in. Let's get back in frame here and start gluing down our pieces. For those of you that are watching live, was that an easy fold for you to create or watch? I hope that you can kind of re-watch it and understand the method. Once you get all of the sizes and dimensions down, it's easy to just kind of look at the sheet. It's like, okay, I have to line it up here and then cut. I have to line it up here, then score. So I hope I made it easy for you. Debbie says yes, so that's great. Okay. Just trying to glue down 2 pieces there. That's not going to work. This leaves a nice little border, not a really thick border around. It leaves it a nice 1/8 of an inch border. That is okay. That is okay, Patty. That is what the replay is all about. There we go. And these are our pieces, and we're just going to be gluing everything down. So we're going to have 2 pieces go on the outside and 4 pieces go on the inside. So I have, looking at my papers here, I think I want to do those on the inside and these on the outside. I'm sorry, those on the inside here. And then I have my white pieces here, and then I have these 2 for the outside. So we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to flip this over so it's easier to glue down. Got our outside piece right here. Just making sure I'm still in frame. And then this for my other outside piece. And flip this over and work on the inside panel pieces now. Leaving a nice little border, not a lot of room of a border, but it does leave some. And this makes your card base a little bit stronger too, because you've cut into this center portion. So with these adding these panel pieces, that gives it a stronger hold. There we go. And then our last panel, and then we can start working on the card portion of it. Come on, don't slide. And you definitely, I would highly, highly, highly recommend using liquid glue for this. You don't have to, but it just makes it easier to do that. So that holds up like that. Then we're going to come in with our card piece and bring in our 2 basic white pieces here. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment, lots of love. I'm going to bring in my old olive and use that. Balmy blue would be really pretty with this as well, to bring in the blues. But I thought I would just stick with the old olive, since that is, it brings out the leaves. Okay. And then I'm going to adhere this piece on the inside. Oh, come on, don't move. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna lift this up. Start again. That's why you want to use liquid glue, because I dropped it. There we go. And then this is going to go on the front piece, just like so. And we will add our flowers and our leaves. Let's go ahead and bring in our sample right here. I'm going to lay that flat. Might be easier to lay down my flowers. So I did this with some leaves popping up like so. I just kind of wanted to get an eye where this is going to go. So this needs to come more center. So I'm going to start off by putting down my 2 leaves right here. Right there. Just like so. Then I'm going to lay this back down just so I can kind of see which direction I want my flower. I think I wanted it that way. Yeah. Lay. Okay. That. Let's bring it down just a skosh. Just like that. Oh, let go. Let go, finger. Then I'm going to come in and bring in my, lay that flat, but then I'm going to pop up the smaller flower. Now, you are definitely going to, because there's so many layers, and then this is a specific fun fold, you are definitely going to want to add extra postage for this. This is definitely an extra postage or in-person type card. I'm just going to come in with a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals and pop this piece up. Just like that. There is the front of our card. And now we're going to bring in our mechanism here. We're going to lay this flat because you're going to just add some liquid adhesive right here along the center, along the edge, a little bit in the middle there. Then we're going to be lining this up. You're going to center it on in between these 2 panels and these 2 at the top and the bottom, and then leaving it with the same amount on the sides right here. So we're just gonna press this down, let it sit there for a second, and I just moved it. See? Let it sit there, don't move it around. And there we have our fun folds. Recrease those edges. Come on. Just like that. Fold that behind there. Come on, fold down. Fold down. There we go. And there we have our floating fun fold card. Isn't that cute? There we go. Well, that is it for me today, my friends. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you think you'll try this fold out? I hope that you do. But in the meantime, I hope that you join Jenny today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at Stampin' with Jen. That's 2 N's in Stampin' and 2 N's with Jen. On her Facebook page, she's got a fun, amazing fold that was Lisa Curcio inspired as well. But I've taken the mystery out of making this card. I am so glad that I know it doesn't look as so difficult after all. I love doing that. I love taking a more challenging fold and simplifying it because that's how my brain works. So I hope that you enjoyed it. Oh, good. I'm so glad that you're going to make them tomorrow, Debbie. I appreciate that. Tag me when you make them so I can see what you created. I always love to see what other people create. Maybe you can come back and put it on the description box on my post tomorrow. But in the meantime, I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all next time for more creative fun. Bye, everyone.